Well, folks, another US election is in the books. And let me tell you, this one was a doozy. We saw surprises, nail-biters, and enough political drama to make even the most cynical among us raise an eyebrow. But beyond the usual chaos, the 2024 election had some truly fascinating quirks that are worth a closer look. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the weird and wonderful world of American democracy. Now, some of you might be thinking, John, elections are about as interesting as watching paint dry. And to that I say, fair enough. But trust me on this one. This election had moments that were anything but boring. We're talking record-breaking turnout, cutting-edge tech, and enough plot twists to make a Hollywood screenwriter blush. So whether you're a political junkie or just someone who enjoys a good dose of what the heck just happened, this one's for you. Let's unpack some of the most fascinating facts about the 2024 US elections. From unexpected victories to shocking defeats and everything in between, this election had it all. Social media played a huge role, with viral moments and trending hashtags shaping public opinion like never before. And let's not forget the youth vote, which surged to unprecedented levels, proving that the younger generation is more engaged than ever. So, sit tight and get ready to relive the highs, the lows, and the unforgettable moments of the 2024 US elections. First up, let's talk turnout. This year, it was nothing short of phenomenal. Remember all those times people complained about low voter turnout? Those days seem like a distant memory now. Well, somebody must have been listening, because 2024 blew those numbers out of the water. It was a historic moment. We're talking record-breaking, off-the-charts participation. The numbers were simply staggering. It seemed like everyone and their grandma decided to make their voice heard this time around. No one wanted to be left out. From bustling city centers to sleepy rural towns, Americans lined up in droves to cast their votes. The enthusiasm was palpable. Was it the candidates? The issues? Or maybe everyone just finally realized that democracy doesn't run on autopilot? Perhaps it was a combination of all these factors. Whatever the reason, it was a sight to behold. The energy was electric. This surge in participation has left political analysts scratching their heads. They're trying to make sense of this unprecedented turnout. Some argue it's a sign of increased political engagement. People are more aware and involved than ever before. Others say it reflects the high stakes of this particular election. The issues at hand were too important to ignore. Whatever the explanation, one thing is clear. Americans were paying attention, and they were ready to have their say. This election will be remembered for years to come. Now, let's talk about how people actually voted. Gone are the days of just rocking up to your local school gym and hoping for the best. 2024 saw a surge in new and innovative voting methods. We're talking online voting, mobile ballot tracking, and even blockchain technology being used to secure the process. It was like something out of a sci-fi movie, except, with less laser beams and alien invasions. This embrace of technology wasn't without its hiccups, of course. There were concerns about security, accessibility, and the occasional "my internet went down" meltdown. But hey, progress isn't always pretty, right? Now let's talk about who came out to vote. For the first time in US history, Gen Z made up a significant portion of the electorate. That's right, the kids are all right. In fact, they might just be the future of American democracy. This generation, known for their tech savviness and social activism, showed up in force, proving that they're not just content with liking posts and sharing memes. They're engaged, informed, and ready to shape the future of their country. This surge in young voters sent shockwaves through the political establishment. Candidates who had previously ignored this demographic were suddenly scrambling to understand their concerns and win their support. It was a clear sign that the times, they are a-changin'. Section 5. A nation divided. Still? Now for the elephant in the room, the political divide. It's no secret that America has been a bit polarized in recent years. And while some hoped that the 2024 election might bring people together, the results were a bit more complicated. The country remained deeply divided on a number of issues, from healthcare to climate change to the economy. This divide was reflected in the election results, with close races and razor-thin margins in many states. So, while the 2024 election may not have healed the nation's political wounds, it did highlight the urgent need for dialogue, understanding, and maybe a whole lot of therapy. Section 6. Remember that thing that happened? Yeah, that was a thing. Okay, let's take a break from all the serious stuff for a minute and talk about some of the more, shall we say, memorable and downright hilarious moments from the campaign trail. Remember that time a candidate accidentally swore on live TV? It was one of those moments that left everyone in stitches. Or when a debate was interrupted by a rogue squirrel. The little critter stole the show and became an instant internet sensation. Or when that one politician's toupee almost staged a daring escape. Yeah, those actually happened, and they were unforgettable. Look, elections are stressful, okay? The pressure can get to anyone, even the most seasoned politicians. Sometimes you just gotta laugh to keep from crying. It's a coping mechanism we all need. And boy, did the 2024 candidates give us plenty to laugh about. Their antics were a constant source of entertainment. From awkward photo ops to cringeworthy dance moves, the campaign trail was a veritable goldmine of comedic fodder. Each event seemed to top the last in terms of sheer hilarity. These moments may have been good for a chuckle, but they also reminded us that politicians are in fact human beings. They make mistakes just like the rest of us. Flawed, awkward, occasionally ridiculous human beings. It's these imperfections that make them relatable. And hey, maybe that's something we can all relate to. After all, who hasn't had an embarrassing moment or two? Section 7, the rise of the independents. Now back to the serious stuff. One of the most interesting trends in the 2024 election was the rise of independent candidates. Tired of the same old partisan bickering, more and more Americans seem to be looking for alternatives. These candidates, unaffiliated with either major party, promised a fresh perspective and a break from the gridlock. While none of them managed to win any major offices this time around, their growing popularity is a sign that the political landscape is shifting. This surge in support for independent candidates suggests that voters are becoming increasingly disillusioned with the two-party system. They're hungry for new ideas, new voices, and a political system that's more responsive to their needs. Section 8. Money talks, but did it win this time? Let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, money. Specifically, the role of campaign finance in the 2024 election. As always, billions of dollars were poured into the race, with candidates spending big on everything from TV ads to social media campaigns. But here's the interesting thing. While money is undoubtedly a powerful force in politics, it didn't necessarily buy victory this time around. Several well-funded candidates lost to opponents with significantly smaller war chests. This suggests that factors like message, voter enthusiasm, and good old-fashioned grassroots organizing still matter. It's a reminder that while money may talk, it doesn't always get to have the final word. Section 9. The battle for the states. Now let's zoom in on the state level. As you know, the US election isn't just about who wins the popular vote. It's about winning states and securing those precious electoral college votes. The 2024 election saw intense battles in several key battleground states, with both major parties vying for control. These states became the epicenter of the election, with candidates focusing their resources and attention on winning over undecided voters. These state-level races often reflected the broader national trends, with close contests and heated debates on issues like the economy, healthcare, and education. The outcomes in these battleground states ultimately determined the winner of the presidential election. Section 10. What does it all mean? So there you have it. Just a few of the fascinating facts that made the 2024 US election one for the history books. From record-breaking turnout to the rise of new voting methods, from Gen Z's political awakening to the ever-present influence of money, this election had it all. But what do these trends tell us about the future of American democracy? Are we witnessing a resurgence of civic engagement or simply a temporary blip in an otherwise apathetic political landscape? The answer, as with most things in politics, is far from clear. What is clear, however, is that the 2024 election has left an indelible mark on the American political landscape. It has raised important questions about the role of technology, the changing demographics of the electorate, and the enduring challenges facing our democracy. Section 11. The future of democracy. As we move forward, it's up to each and every one of us to engage in thoughtful and respectful dialogue about the future we want to create. We must demand better from our elected officials, hold them accountable for their actions, and work together to find common ground. The 2024 election may be over, But the work of democracy never ends. It's an ongoing process that requires constant vigilance, participation, and a willingness to listen to and learn from those with whom we disagree. So let's keep talking, keep debating, and keep fighting for the kind of future we want to see. Because the future of American democracy depends on it. And you know what? I have a feeling it's going to be one heck of a ride.